Oh, go ahead. Good morning. It's going to be a hot one today.
Good.
Yay! Welcome to church this beautiful Sunday in Lake Country. My name is Traci Hubbard, and I am the minister here. And it's a privilege to be with you. You are welcome to worship with us by whatever name you know and understand God to be. We believe it's about how we love, not who we love. Although be very picky about who you love. Just saying. Today, Adam, am I going on? There we go. Today, Adam is 29 again.
Next week.
Oh, it's next week. On the 30th. You're on the 30th. Well, we're celebrating you today.
Thank you.
And 11 years ago today, right now, I was helping my youngest daughter, the nurse, Amy, deliver my grandson, Jeremy. So he's 11 years old today. After church today, we brought a bag lunch. And by we, it's cutting in and out. I don't know what's happening. The ministry team, not the ministry team, the visioning team will be meeting for the first time. I'm so excited. Hold us in your thoughts as we vision, seek the sacred, seek the movement of the Spirit for all of you. And know that at the end of our visioning, after we meet probably 4 or 5 times, we will bring everything to you and for you to vote and decide on how we're moving forward. So pray for us. Sandy, would you like to come up?
Morning, everybody. It's so nice to see some of our people that have been injured or unwell, whatever, back in our congregation today. Welcome back, everybody.
Arlene and Fran and Lynn's here today too. And Jim is limping. I don't know what that's about.
Long story, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Anyway, I just want to say a couple of things. If you're out and about and you've got your hoe or your gardening tools and you want to pull a few weeds, we attempted to have a little work bee the other day, but it was so hot we had to quit, so we didn't get very far. But the main thing today is, I know it's only August 23rd.
4th.
24th, thanks. But we have a fall fair usually in October. And what I'd like to see today is just a show of hands of how many people here would be able to help us out with a fall fair, because it is a lot of work. Oh yay, hands are going up already. Perfect.
When is it?
Awesome, thanks everybody. We'll get on to the details and let you know. It's usually the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm at a conference the 24th, 25th, 26th.
Okay,
So-
well, we'll get together our team of workers and we'll come up with a date and let everybody know, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks you all.
You're gonna put more batteries in? No, you're starting that. After the service, I'm going to put a sign-up sheet on the table. And the sign-up sheet is to give rides to folks who are no longer driving. Today, JR picked up our guests, and we welcome Scott and Cindy Huff. Would you like to tell us where you're from?
We're from a lot of places, but most recently Kamloops.
Kamloops.
We moved here because our son and daughter-in-law live about 5 blocks from where we are.
And you're at the Blue Heron Assisted Living.
That's correct.
Yes. Well, welcome. You're United Church folks, and we met a couple of months ago before I left on holiday. So JR, thank you for the ride. Thank you for bringing them. I don't see David and Eleanor today.
No, they're not here. Their son is visiting.
Okay, there's a sign-up sheet for them as well. They will not ask for a ride, okay? You have to call them and say, I'm coming to get you. So I will put these on the table afterwards. This week, I'm on call for pastoral care, of course, and I'll be in the pulpit next Sunday, but I used the last 2 weeks of my vacation in July to work because folks couldn't come until now. And a friend is arriving tomorrow, and then another friend is arriving on the 30th. So that's what I'll be doing, but if you have an emergency, please don't hesitate to contact me. Anything else? So, do we have any more guests today besides Scott and Cindy? No? It's great to see your face, Arlene. Lynn, I saw you this week, but it's good to have you here. And Fran, where are you? There you are. It's good to see you too. I got to talk to Rocky this week. And what was the question? What's her new question?
How are you doing today?
How you doing today? Yeah, so sweet.
With
We-
a Texan accent?
She did it with a Texan accent. How you doing? Well, you had to say it like Joey from Friends. How you doing? We are standing on the sacred ground of the Select people. We have much to learn from our Indigenous brothers and sisters, and I'm grateful that we can join them in caring for our earth. This morning, we light our Christ candle, asking for the sacred to move among us, to light up our hearts. I like your haircut. To light up our lives, to light up our eyes when we're talking. There's nowhere we're going to go to today or this week, or Jim's going to stumble,
I've done that already, thanks.
where the light is not still with us. No matter where we are, no matter what we're healing, no matter what we're going through, the light is always within us. So spread it. People need the light. Please stand if you are able and sing with us My Love Colors Outside the Lines. We still have folks coming on.
beyond the boundaries where I've never been before. Open doors to worlds outside the lines.
Have a seat. I'd like to invite Reg. I think you're our reader today, aren't you?
Are you looking for me?
There you, where are you? Right there.
Right where you left me.
Right.
Where he belongs.
I'll never leave you.
Ready me to have me go? I'm always the last to know. Well, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
The readings today are both from Romans. The first is Romans 5, verses 3 to 5. And not only that, but we must also boast in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope, and hope does not disappoint us, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit and has been given to us. The other reading is Romans 12, verses 1 to 3. Okay, here's what I want you to do. And from now on, when I say the word love, mentally translate it in your head to mean God. These, in this reading, the two words are synonymous. So here's what I want you to do. Love, or God helping you, take your everyday ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, and walking around life, and place it before love as an offering. Embracing what love does for you is the best thing that you can do for yourself, others, and creation and love. Don't become so well adjusted in your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. Instead, fix your attention on love. You'll be changed from the inside out. Unlike the culture around you, always trying to drag you down to its level of immaturity, love brings the best out of you and develops well-formed maturity in you. I'm speaking to you out of deep gratitude for all that love has given me, especially as I have responsibility in relationship to you. Living then, as every one of you does in pure grace, it's important that you not misinterpret yourselves as people who are bringing goodness to love. No. Love brings it all to you. The only accurate way to understand ourselves is by what love is and by what love does for us, not by what we are and what we do for her. May these words open us to the Spirit's presence.
May we practice what we have learned.
A little girl asked her mother, "How did the human race appear?" The mother answered, "God made Adam and Eve, and they had children. So was all mankind made." 2 days later, the girl asked her father the same question. The father answered, "Many years ago, there were monkeys from which the human race evolved." The confused little girl returned to her mother and said, "Mom, how is it possible that you told me the human race was created by God and Dad said they developed from monkeys?" And the mother answered, "Well, dear, it's really very simple. I told you about my side of the family, and your father told you about his. I invite you for a moment to close your eyes and picture a spiritual journey. Not the kind you see in Renaissance paintings, angels hovering and golden beams shining, but the ordinary, slightly murkier version most of us experience. And if you're like me, your path to spiritual illumination may have begun with pimples and pizza. You can open your eyes. I can't believe you really closed your eyes. Well done. My journey began in Mama's Pizza, a family-owned pizza parlor beloved by everyone, especially university students in Fort Worth, Texas. Somehow, between an argument with my mother at home before we landed at Mama's Pizza, another step in my spiritual evolution began. You see, I decided to sneak my gray, live little mouse into my hoodie, and then released my mouse onto the table, who proceeded to run across the newly delivered 24-inch pizza, getting stuck in the middle with cheese hanging from legs. The look in my mother's eyes told me death might be near, but not for my mouse. Somewhere between her Sicilian death stare and the other diners staring at me, my spiritual evolution began with me paying for that pizza and the new one that was made and delivered to our table. Peeker, my mouse, was sequestered to the glove box in our station wagon. You may be wondering how an intentional search for the divine begins with a cheesy mouse, black olives, jalapenos, pepperoni, red onions, and Italian sausage in November 1974. Well, if history has taught us anything, the most profound journeys often begin when people find themselves in a sticky, hot mess. Moses had the Red Sea, Paul had a burning tree, I had a newly disinfected table, an apology letter to the owner, and $40 less in my piggy bank. Same difference. The first thing I discovered is that spiritual evolution seldom feels like a balanced uphill climb. It's more like a slapstick comedy sketch, with me, as the unconscious star. There's a moment when you think you understand the rules. Pray, contemplate, try to be good. And then life offers you what seems like a logical way to get your point across to your mom. I mean, come on. What is worse, my messy room or a mouse stuck on a pizza? I thought my mother was the one who had a choice to make. I was mistaken. On one ordinary day in December during Christmas holidays, I decided to ponder life in my bedroom. I lit a candle. I sat cross-legged and tried to hold my hands in a yoga position while emptying my mind of how uncomfortable I felt with my legs crossed and my arms like this. I mean, honestly, I had to lie down on my bed and use pliers to zip up my tight jeans, which in hindsight was a red flag around my consciousness for sure. A cramp in my right calf interrupted my holy moment, and my legs sprang out from underneath me like a rocket, knocking over my glass of orange juice, dousing the candle, and sinking deep into the thickest shag carpet that was ever invented. For at least 30 seconds, which felt like an hour, I used a towel to try and soak up the juice. I was 14, come on. Was I 14? I was 12. I knew it was futile, so I stopped trying. So I threw a large decorative pillow over the spot. Years later, when Mom was selling the house, she discovered the spot, and it was still sticky in the middle. Both moments, the mouse and the pizza, and the 7-year-old sticky orange juice spot introduced me to deep breathing. What did I learn? Spiritual evolution is not linear. It doesn't go like that. Mine goes like that. Sometimes it's a roller coaster that gets stuck at the top, and I've been there, upside down, for like 20 minutes, stuck at the top, dreading the looming drop that's coming. Sometimes it's a zigzag like a mouse makes on a pizza pie, or meandering into a funeral home to see your grandfather in a coffin. And sometimes it's an aha moment that feels electric, or sometimes an aha moment feels like warm peace. Warm peace. I was beginning to grow up. I was changing and accepting who I was becoming. Ellen DeGeneres said, "Accept who you are, unless you're a serial killer." Wisdom for sure. Spiritual evolution is full of surprises. I encounter truth and wisdom in philosophical conversations with children as we discuss the meaning of life. And I learn it's when Barbies have shoes that match their outfits, or it's making cookies with mom or grandmother, or fishing with grandfather. I get that. I can sink my soul into that life-giving answer. Learning that simplicity and authenticity, living in alignment in ourselves, and warm chocolate chip cookies are underrated spiritual values. We search for answers in ancient texts, or in a profound classroom lecture, or a sermon on natural evolution, holding hands with creation and the Creator's loving energy, who began the Big Bang, and sustains us through our beings and bangs. Sometimes the truth comes wrapped in pepperoni and hot cheese and 7-year-old sticky shag carpet. Don't overlook the messengers. Sometimes they're covered in garlic and pulp. If we're going to evolve spiritually, if we're going to love like Reg just read in Paul's letter to the church in Rome, if we're going to love wastefully like John Shelby Spahn spoke about, we best bring a sense of humor with us. Otherwise, we'll waste precious time worrying about being right and not enough time enjoying being genuine. And for those of you married or have been married, have you spent any time together trying to be right? Yeah. How'd that go? Remember a time when you tried fasting for spiritual clarity? No? Oh, I did. 40 days, actually. Long time ago. And I ate very, very little, drank water. I had to eat to stay alive, but if you're fasting by noon, we become enlightened to the fact that our blood sugar has dropped. And then we're nauseated. By 3 o'clock, we are meditating on the holiness of Mama's Pizza. The sacred mysteries around how oranges came to be, and who invented the first juicer, or why the meanest girls in school never get pimples. Laughter and humor are not an interruption or a distraction from the spiritual path. I believe they are energy for our journey. When we laugh at ourselves, we release the hold of unhealthy ego, and we make space for grace. When we laugh at our blunders, we open the door for humility to take root. If we cannot find the hug of holy love in a moment of laughter, we're probably dealing with spiritual rigidity, and stuck in the muck of outdated human definitions and concepts of who the holy is and why we're here. Some of our most profound spiritual awakenings have not arrived as, oh, that was written in that time, but by that person in that place with the understanding and discoveries they had during their human journey. And ever since the beginning of humans trying to understand how to describe and talk about the essence of the Creator, of divine love being with us, there has been a bazillion fumbles and Hail Marys along the way. Ask any football team. In 2016, I began consciously trying not to push against what was happening in any moment. Instead, staying with and in the moment, looking for the teaching, for the lesson for me. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You're my teachers. You thought it was the other way around. Oh no. Driving alongside raging, crazy drivers or waiting for a late pizza delivery. And now the inconvenient art of crow's feet. These things have gifted me with the opportunity to meet the moment, the reality with grace and serenity. Living in lake country, especially in a forest overlooking a lake, more spiders have greeted me than I can count. And I have arachnophobia. That is very true. Tuesday evening, my last evening with Amy, I reached for a new roll of toilet paper, only to have a spider jump out from inside the cardboard roll and land on my foot. I'm itchy. Just talking about spiders, I'm itchy. Offering that spider a sarcastic salutation was my only instinct. 2 hours later, while my daughter and I were sitting on the couch and talking, I felt a sharp pain on my left shin, and then a few more followed, 6 actually. I reached down and felt 7 bumps that began to itch. I leapt off the couch, threw my blanket on the floor, and I grabbed Amy's blanket off of her and I threw it off the floor, and she said, "What the heck, Mom, have you gone crazy?" I didn't want to tell her that I thought a spider was biting me. I ran into my bathroom, threw off my sweatpants, shook them like a rattlesnake, and a spider dropped out. It did not live to give its side of the experience. I wish I could say I responded with a gentle whisper to my daughter, saying, "Oh, Amy, I believe there's just a little brown recluse crawling inside the left leg of my sweatpants, and it's biting me now. I'll be right back, darling, after I take care of the poor little innocent thing." My silent prayer as I galloped to my bathroom was, "Really? You called me to Spiderland to love people?" Yet in that moment, my shin boasting a pop-up museum of 7 red and pus-filled bumps, I understood something profound. Spiritual evolution isn't about being flawless in our reactions to life. It's about showing up. Showing up confused or inadequate or exasperated, and finding grace in the moment. Sometimes, though, spiritual evolution sneaks up on us during the ordinary moments. In the fall of 2001, I was in the Calgary airport going through security. The night before, I had cooked Italian for my oldest daughter's 12 or so friends because it was her birthday. And that evening, I bent over to put a plate in the dishwasher and was invited to a full-blown throwing out of my lower back. So trying to take my shoes off while going through security was like watching Tim Conway in a sketch with Carol Burnett when he played Mr. Wiggins. A 7 or 8-year-old little boy noticed my plight and he bent down, taking both of my slip-on shoes off and placed them in my bin, saying, "Don't worry, we're all just trying our best." It was a simple act of kindness, but it echoed in my heart for weeks. Spiritual growth often blooms in the unspectacular, in the small acts of patience and kindness we offer, or we receive while we're in airport security reeking of garlic. If we think If we think we'll reach a destination in spiritual evolution, well, I've got some news. The journey continues past pimples, past the pizza and orange juice, past the funeral homes and security lines, and yes, past the crow's feet. Our spiritual evolution doesn't end with one aha moment of an enlightenment. Each day, folks, each day brings a new lesson, another opportunity, as Richard Rohr says, to fall upwards. We crawl, we toddle, we leap and we lean. But every step, every laugh, every fumble, every moment of pizza-inspired wisdom carries us forward. May we embrace our messiness. My yoga teacher once said that downward dog would take one to a new place of spiritual revelation. That's a big stretch, I said. You're welcome. May we laugh as much as possible while we look for wisdom in children and shared fruit. And whoever brought the jelly, left it on my desk, thank you. Thank you. And shared jelly and fruit. And an aware, kind children helping us with our shoes. May we practice kindness, not because it doesn't cost us anything, but because we understand the image of the eternal sacred is the essence of unconditional, extravagant love. And may we remember that every step we take, every ordinary step, is sacred, even when it is sticky. May it be so. Amen. Let me get back to my page here. Our meditation for today. When we cannot see our way through, if we are aware enough to surrender our ego and be open, space is created for the way of love to appear and help us heal, deepen our roots and widen our wings. We emerge more evolved, more connected to love, more liberated in our ability to love. For those of you at home expecting applause, here we go like this, and everyone's hands were up. That was beautiful. What's the name of that?
Sicilian by Fore.
Beautiful. That's exactly how I play it. So, please stand if you are able and let us sing Rise Up, Rise Up. Please be seated. Reg is going to come up and read our minute for mission as someone brings up the box. Folks, thank you for all your time, talent, and treasure. It takes a lot of people to create a Sunday service, to be an open community, to have coffee, to have a garden that greets us like ours does, to have a thrift shop, a thriving thrift shop, to have a blues band, a jazz band, to rehearse music, to get new sound working. Soon our new camera will be working. It takes a lot. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you.
Framed by Creation is the title of today's reading. I found it lovely. I hope you do too. Waterton United Church rests in the heart of Waterton Lakes National Park in Alberta, where wind brushes the tall grass and mountains rise like blessings above the lake. Surrounded by breathtaking natural beauty, the church is a place of welcome, wonder, and worship. A sanctuary within a sanctuary. The United Church has had a presence in the park since 1955. The current building was dedicated in 1961 and was thoughtfully designed to honor its setting. Architect George Watson produced or positioned the sanctuary's great cathedral window so that it has a perfectly framed view of Mount Vimy, which of course is after Vimy Ridge in the First Great War. It invites creation into every service. People who aren't involved in the church but just stop to visit the lookout are captivated by the view of the mountain over the lake. It's a special thing that happens. It touches something deep within. Your gifts through mission and service help keep the church open year-round for youth groups, sleepovers, weddings, meetings, occasional workshops, and retreats. In the summer, guest ministers and musicians arrive weekly to lead worship from late June through September, filling the sanctuary with inspired voices and music that echoes across the valley. The church hosts youth retreats, weddings and spiritual gatherings, and with a small room and kitchenette tucked behind the sanctuary, it also welcomes leaders seeking quiet and renewal. Providing a space for reflection and retreat is a very important aspect of the ministry we offer. What shares? A newsletter captures the heart of it. Waterton United offers a unique ministry to the wealth of summer visitors who flock happily into the national park and then find this gem of a United Church of Canada. Thank you for supporting ministries that honor and care for community and creation. In places like Waterton, where land and spirit meet, your gifts make help, sacred encounters possible. Thank you.
I have it highlighted in my order of service. I have it in 24 font, and I still missed it. So Scott and Cindy, usually in the beginning piece of the service, I ask a question. What made you come alive this week? Where did you encounter the holy, the sacred? So if you would like to share a moment of what made you come alive, or also share a prayer request, now is the time.
I just want to say that for me, this morning's service has made me come alive, and I really appreciate all you said. It was marvelous and totally what I wanted to hear. Maybe not what I wanted, but what I needed to hear.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for saving these moments until after that picture, because looking at the church in Waterton reminded me of a story when I was working in Vancouver. I was working with an older woman minister, United Church minister. She was originally an immigrant from Germany when she was just a little girl. By the time I saw her, she was just near to retirement. And
crow's feet.
Pardon?
Crow's feet?
Oh, she had much more crow's feet. I think she was a crusty old woman, and I was thinking, and I'm sorry, I may really get drummed out of the church for this, but if you wanted sort of an image of what kind of woman this was, think of May Husk. She was just really...
But she's not crusty.
Oh.
Okay, you're good.
Yeah, anyway, the story I wanted to tell when I saw that was, she was a diaconal minister, and she went to Lethbridge during the war. And when she got to Lethbridge, she talked to the United Church ministers. There were 3 churches there, and she said, "What do you want me to do?" And they said, "We want you to minister to the Japanese Canadian young people who have been relocated here because of the war," and there was a whole bunch of them there. They said, "We can't minister to them because our congregations wouldn't allow us to, but you don't have a congregation, so you can do it." So this woman, who had come from Germany, who was listed as an enemy alien by the Canadian government,
Wow.
ended up working with a bunch of young Japanese teenagers. And Waterton reminded me of it because she said she took a bunch of girls to a camp out at Waterton. And in those days, of course, Waterton was way out there. And One day, some RCMP officers drove up to the door to find out what she was doing with these kids out there. And she told them she was having fun with them. And when they saw that was true, they went back to Lethbridge again. But she is the kind of inspiration that you were talking about, who did kind things, even though it was really tough for her.
I've never been to Waterton. I want to go. I hear it's beautiful. Yeah, it doesn't matter if we're fresh or crusty, if we smell good or stink, if we're young or old or lost or found, we can be kind, we can love, we can laugh.
I have a son who is about 62 or so, and he's a genius IQ, he's an artist, and since he's 14 he's been a drug addict. And for about the last year or so, actually for about 3, he hasn't been on any drugs. But now he is producing the most incredible pencil drawings, and they're on FaceTime, and he is producing about 1 a day, and they are
Facebook?
Yeah, Garth Blakely is his name, and he's I don't know, it's I've had no expectations for so many years that it's really something to see that he's busy and really productive and making a contribution to the world.
I'm so happy for you and him. It's wonderful news.
I just want to say, Bob, that was a God moment. Just hearing you talk about your son. As a mom with a son who struggles every day, it was a God moment hearing what your son has come through. And I will look forward to seeing his sketches. Thanks, Bob.
I've done the Tamarack Trail through Waterton. It's about a 3.5-day hike, and it goes along the Great Divide Trail. It's not why I was taking the mic, though. I just got back from Yoho, and we did the Whaleback Ridge, which was incredible. And it was actually Gordon Rutherford, who's not here today, but he inspired me to do it. So when he was the ranger at Yoho Park, him and his co-workers helped create the Iceline Trail and the Whaleback Ridge. So I couldn't help but think of him when I was up there, because the last time we came to do the fire check, he said, "Will you have a good time?" He just had this longing in his face because of how he walks, right? And I thought when I was up there, I was like, this is for him. And what it's never lost on me what a gift it is to physically be able to get up there and enjoy that. And I'll do it as long as I can. But if you have a chance to get to Waterton, it's unbelievable.
I'd love to go. Who would be my Sharpa? For sure. Is that what they call him? The person that carries everything? Any one of those.
It's not one of them.
Anyone else? Here we go.
My daughter had to put their dog Rocky down, and the next door neighbor made a kite and put Rocky, rest in peace, and put up with 2,000 feet of string and honored him. So
How precious is that? That gave me chills. That's sweet. That is so sweet. It's those things, I've had the privilege of being at many, 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 many deathbeds. And it's those things that people remember. that changed their lives. Or maybe a simple thing that put them on a new path. A mouse on some pizza doesn't do it for people watching, but it sure put me on a new path. Any prayer requests? We'll pray for Garth. Yes, Fran.
My brother, Brother Batchelor, retired farmer, spent 3 days with us, and while he was staying with us, we received word that one of the patriarchs of the little town, Barra de Navidad, who was only in his late 50s, passed suddenly from cardiac issues. And Sarah's just had that smile about him that you knew when he first saw you for the first time on your return trip back to the town. He meant it, and everybody felt the same. And so his wife of 25 years asked for support, and we're just feeling that there's going to be a loss when we get back there this winter. But anyway, he was well loved.
I just love this. It's cool in here, which I love. But hearing the dog bark and hearing you share stories and hearing you say you thought about Gordon when you were up there. This community means something. It's important. And we want to spread that love. I hope you can feel it, Cindy and Scott. These folks really care. Here goes Bob again.
Yes.
Bobbing, or he's bobbing.
I was a mountain host here for 12 years, and we used to hear that Bob, 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 because 3 of the 4 people were named Bob. At any rate, just to tell you something about Garth, when he was a kid, the only thing he ever wanted for his birthday, which is in November, was money. Just always money. And he made sure everybody knew that. And then he would take that money and he would buy his brother and sister the best gifts that he could get. And that's what all this money went to.
That's sweet. Anyone else? I don't know what I'm not a dog whisperer, but I think the dog has a prayer request.
There's somebody walking through the parking lot.
Oh, I see. How dare you? Let us pray. Loving one, a friend at all times, creator of laughter and its healing properties, holder and placer of the stars, of us, this wrapped in flesh stardust. How amazing love is. I felt it when I was looking at Jeremy opening his present via video clip. Love spans miles. It brings us together in the moment. And there are no small moments. Some we like to forget. Some our moms wish we hadn't created. But there are moments when our children rise from the ashes and begin drawing with pencils. And for Garth, we are grateful. And for how that story moved Bev to tears and infused hope. We're grateful for Arlene and Fran and Lynn being with us today. For Brenda and Lynn and Naomi and Brian. For Nicole and Vita, Mike and Joanne, Alyssa and Caleb and baby Jackson. We're grateful for Margaret and Brian and Stacy and Maxwell and Aaron and Kyle and Nina and Eric and Tanya, Kevin and Wendy, Danielle and Rocky and Fran and Elwin, and for the smile and the energy of the smile of Cirrus, and for how that took root in people who were recipients of that warm love. We continue to pray for Lynn and Dawn as they walk with each other through cancer treatment. As boring as a day can get in the hospital, when moments are present that where someone's not there, may Lynn feel your love and our love, the love of family and friends. Thank you for Scott and Cindy being with us today, for our exquisite musicians, for our visioning team meeting to listen to you through one another. And now in the silence of our hearts, we speak our thoughts to you. Instead of me praying today, I want you to imagine the Spirit saying this to you. Before you were born, you were known. Before mountains rose or oceans sang, before stars stretched their light across the dark sky, you were already spoken into being in the language of eternity. You are not a coincidence. You are not a mistake. You are the living intention of the source that holds all things together. Sacred texts across time echo this truth. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. The kingdom is within you. In the beginning was the Word, and through it all things were made. The same presence that ordered the constellations and carved the canyons has never lost sight of you. Not once. You belong here. Not as an outsider trying to earn a place. You belong as one who's dreamt of and woven into the fabric of this world before the first sunrise. The ancient wisdom is clear. You are image bearers, breath holders, light carriers. You are a reflection of the infinite. That means your life is not small. Your voice is not meaningless. Your presence changes the texture of the world. Live like that. Not from arrogance, but from truth. Not to prove your worth, but because your worth has been established from the beginning. When you rise, rise knowing you carry the spark that spoke the cosmos into being. When you speak, speak knowing your words ripple through the unseen. When you love, love knowing you are participating in the same love that has held the world since its first breath. You belong. You matter. You are here on purpose. Now, walk as if it's true. Because it is. In the name of love we pray. Amen. It's our favorite time. Please stand if you're able, and we will sing our blessing song to one another. Joy in my heart,
Joy be in my heart, peace be in my spirit, passion be my journey, love be in me, joy be in my heart, peace be in my spirit, passion be my journey, love be in me. And as we go, live a life, never look down on the struggle for life. Know behind every face there is a soul at work, and know that